what's the best resource you've used for managing your staff? So I'm going to go first, and then I'll let Mike tell you what he used, and I'll tell you what we use at Web20, and you can see if any of that stuff is what you want to use. So at Web20, to track time, I use Screen Meter. It does the job, but it's not the best. But it does the job, and I track a pretty big team, and the one that we were using just was super expensive for the size team we were ended up tracking. So we end up using Screen Meter to track them. Communications done through Slack. Before Slack, believe it or not, we used to use Facebook Messenger groups. But Slack's a little bit better. And then project management-wise, we use a custom dashboard connected with Trello. That's pretty much our system that we use to manage our staff throughout the various processes. Now, it's not the same as an agency one. We handle a lot more volume typically, but that's kind of the system that we put in place here. What about you, Mike? I know Mike's an automation guy, so he might give you some really good insight that I can't.
Yeah, I mean, even back in my own agency, I used Trello too. Most of the way I would pay staff was based on production, so I didn't really track time. It was mostly based on deadlines, but Screen Meter is definitely great. I've, obviously used that since I've been here and looked into that. Great price too, compared to some of the ones I've looked at. Yeah, they get expensive once you start getting 20, 30, 40 staff members.
They really do.
Yeah,
they really get expensive every month. For Screen Meters, like $10 for
oh
for
yeah,
2 months.
it's definitely the way to go, and it gets the job done. That's really what's important.
And it takes some screenshots too. So not as many as you always need, but you can get a good sense of what's going on.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
we caught people botting on it. I mean,
Surfing Facebook.
yeah, I mean,
whatever.
we caught. Yeah, it definitely helped us improve productivity.
So as far as managing staff, though, the one thing, like you said, automation that comes to mind is when I think management, that has to do with more than just like telling someone what they need to do or setting a deadline or following up with that person. It's really managing or ensuring that workflow from one end to the other. So I'm going to say probably one of the biggest softwares I've used is Zapier, because that's really where I've implemented the connection of all those things, whether it's different Trello boards, even like support tickets and stuff. And actually, now that I've thought about it, you said we use Slack here. I used to use Skype, which is kind of similar. We used to make groups for different product lines and stuff. But at the end of the day, when you're looking at how you manage your staff, there's a lot of different tools. You could track time, projects, specific tasks, but most importantly is how you understand that those tasks are going to be assigned, how they're going to be completed, how quality assurance is going to take place, and then how that finished product is delivered to the customer. And automating a lot of those steps through, the order being placed to going to the proper place, setting due dates. I use Zapier for pretty much all of that, making folders. The less you have to rely on human interaction to get something done in your business, the better off you are. And that's really where you can focus on management from a strategic standpoint, or a how are we developing this service kind of thing, instead of saying, well, they didn't copy that spreadsheet, or they didn't copy and paste this properly, or this and that. So that's why I definitely wanted to bring up Zapier. It's one of my favorite softwares out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. And you introduced us to Zapier here, and now we're running zaps everywhere.
We have 156 automations, I think, right now.
Is that what we have right now?
Yeah, and it's like over like 1,000 steps within all the automations added up. So.
Yeah, it definitely has automated a lot. It's okay, awesome.